Half of our tournament field has left us here in Denver, and the 4 remaining teams all feel they've got a great chance to take home the national championship trophy at the end of the week. Today, the 2-0 Rogers State Hillcats against the 2-1 Texas Tyler Patriots in Game 1 of our coverage from MSU Denver. I'm Brendan Gulick along with Leah Secondo. This is game number 11 of our national championship tournament. It features a team that needs to lose twice and a team that needs to win twice in order for things to go the directions they want them to. Obviously, Rogers State, Leah, has played very well. They've been an offensive juggernaut so far in this tournament, and as long as they win one game today, they're moving on to the best-of-3 championship series.
Yeah, and I would agree, well-rested, now hitting .355 in the championships. Probably not completely up to their par, and certainly you'd like to be closer to the 400 mark. But I think for Rogers State, the advantage that they have is the extra day off, able to scout UT Tyler, a team that they were supposed to play a little bit earlier this year. And for UT Tyler, the Patriots, they are going to continue to ride, as we have a little bit of field malfunction right now. They're going to continue to ride Tatum Goff's arm. Tatum has been with them really the last 10, I think, of the last 12 games through the super regionals to this point. And why not? She's key in their batting order as well.
So hopefully we'll get the gate closed there in just a moment. In the meantime, we've got 2 really good pitchers. The number 1 team in the country in Texas Tyler, the number 4 team in the country in Rogers State. The Hillcats love what they have in Drea Morales. Tatum Goff, as you mentioned, has really led this team both in the circle and in the cleanup spot as the first pitch of the day misses a little bit upstairs. We are underway right at 11 a.m. local time. Rogers State 55-10. Texas Tyler comes in 49-8. A little more on their journeys here. Texas Tyler lost the very first game we played in this tournament. They lost somewhat surprisingly 5-1 to Cal State Dominguez Hills in a game where Texas Tyler certainly had a bunch of chances but left 10 runners on base. Only got 1 run across as Chelsea Spain fouls one away. But they responded nicely. That first loss was on Thursday. They responded nicely on Friday with a big win over Southern Indiana, the Screaming Eagles. They scored 8 runs in the bottom of the 5th inning of that game en route to a 12-5 victory, which gave them a chance to continue on and play yesterday. And Texas Tyler had probably the game of the tournament, I guess, so far between UT Tyler and Auburn Montgomery. The Patriots had a 2-0 lead after 6. They gave up 3 runs in the top of the 7th, including a go-ahead 2-run home run against the Warhawks designated player Molly Cobb. But Texas Tyler scored a pair of runs in the bottom of the 7th inning to walk off, both of which came on Warhawk errors. And so they're a little bit fortunate to be here, but I'm not going to apologize for still being alive in this national championship tournament.
No, and I think for UT Tyler, it's taken them a little bit of an adjustment to get comfortable here in this national championship setting. Been on the road quite a bit, just like all these teams have. Not trying to make an excuse for the Patriots, but it takes a little time to settle in. And so you never know. Coming up through the elimination bracket could be the fruit of benefit for the Patriots.
Nicole Price has had a good tournament as she bunts 1 foul. She's 4 for 7 so far here this week. Rogers State, a big 7-2 win over Southern Indiana on Thursday. That put them in the winner's bracket. And Friday against the Toros, they just rampaged through Alyssa Olagi, Ashley Weiss, and Clarissa Ramirez, scoring 10 runs on 13 hits. That one's pulled back. So Rogers State has scored 17 runs on 22 base hits, and they've left 11 runners on base. As you look at Andrea Vaughn, whose Hillcats right now are trying to make a case as the team to beat. However, I don't want to take anything away from Andrea Morales because she's thrown 2 complete games and done a nice job.
Oh.
What a diving catch by Courtney Plochek. Holy smokes, what a good play.
this is our new web gem of the championship. Great anticipation. Plowcheck is coming in anyways to anticipate the bunt and just outstretches just enough to make the grab. Nice play.
Gosh, was that any good?
Sweet.
Lena Goss, the new Hillcat batter, with 1 on and 1 out in the top of the first. Anyways, we'll see Morales pitching here shortly. And she has certainly, in some regard, looked like her normal self. She's got 13 strikeouts in 14 innings. I want to give her credit because she's only given up 4 runs in those 2 games. But Southern Indiana and Cal State Dominguez Hills did get 20 base hits off of her in those 14 innings. So as dominant as she's been this year, she hasn't been quite as overpowering in this tournament. And I think the Patriots are coming into this game saying, hey, look, we know we're going to see a good pitcher, but she hasn't just been lights out. Let's go be aggressive and go get her. Lena Goss, only 1 for 6 so far this week, hitting .257 as a sophomore. One misses inside.
You know, it's something to think about here. People will say, well, why isn't Rogers State the home team? They've come up through the winner's bracket. They flip. They continue to flip here out the rest of the way. And again, you know, you always want to be the home team. You have that at-bat at the end. But something to be said for the jump and putting that first run up on the board.
Slow roller toward the shortstop. Lena Goss is safe. Bailey Simone made a great effort, but that ball just wasn't hit hard enough for her to really get a chance to throw her out. Now there's 2 on with 1 out.
Yeah, 100%, Brendan. This ball couldn't have died any better, right? In a difficult play to make in the hole for Bailey Simone, a long way to go, and that just gives the scamper of Goss the opportunity. And with that, we're going to have a conversation in the circle. You know, they're going to ride the arm of Tatum Goff as long as they can. And really, what's happened here aren't qualifying to me to pull your pitcher right now. And certainly that's not the case, but just kind of calm everybody down, understand where everyone is going here in this early threat by the Hillcats.
You know, for the most part, through our first 10 games, it's been a pretty offensive tournament.
Yes.
We really haven't seen any team, with the exception of one game, haven't really seen any team just totally shut down the other team's offense. And if you're a Patriots fan, you're probably a little nervous right now, first and second, 1 out. But you've got one of the best offenses in the country, so you just try to keep it close and know that you can always go off for a big inning. We saw the Patriots have an awfully impressive big inning in that 12-5 win. So here comes Abby Rogers, and if there's a player that can hit it to the moon, this is the one. Rogers takes outside. Watch what she did here earlier in the tournament. Abby Rogers, in fact, has 2 home runs in the tournament. This one hits off the light pole in left center field.
Skyrocketing shot that had it not hit the light pole, I would not have been surprised that if it continued another 30 yards across the street.
It's in there for a called strike. That was one of her 2 home runs. She's 3 for 6 with 5 RBIs. Also drawn a walk. And it's worth noting, Abby has 1 strikeout. That is the only Hillcat strikeout offensively over the first 2 games. They've been really good at putting the ball in play. Rogers takes a called strike. She's down 1 and 2 here.
This is a fun little battle here, right? There's no place they can put Rogers. Goff's got to go at her. Make sure she's really hitting her spots with Perez.
Only a freshman, but Abby Rogers doesn't play like it. She's got a veteran mentality. She swings and misses at strike 3. Good change of pace there from Goff, cutting it down and away.
On that outside corner and picked it perfectly, and Rogers chasing it, thinking she could just get her bat on it, unable to.
So Bridget Morales bats with 2 on and 2 out as Tatum Goff tries to get out of this first inning scot-free. Spain and Goss the base runners. High and tight to Morales, who's only 1 for 7 but does have a double this week. That double came on Friday in her first at bat. Ended up coming around to score on a ground out. This ball's fouled away. 1 ball, 1 strike. One thing that both Goff and her counterpart today, Andrea Morales, one thing they've both done, I think, is when they've put themselves into precarious situations, they have generally found a way to get out of it without giving up too many runs. Nobody's been perfect this week on the pitching side.
Oh,
but
a little back door there.
Yeah, limiting
Got
the
the cherry
damage
call.
and making some critical pitches and key moments have really helped. Patriots looking for some early momentum, trying to stuff this Hillcat early opportunity. Ran something hard and inside on her. 70 degrees, sunny skies, a little bit breezy. It is a beautiful late morning in Denver. There is a small chance of rain as the afternoon goes along, but it's not going to be for at least a few hours, so it definitely shouldn't affect this game. 1-2 is fouled away again. And just so you know the schedule for the day here, folks, Rogers State and Texas Tyler are playing. If Rogers State wins, they automatically go to tomorrow in the first game of that best-of-3 championship series. And they'll play the team that emerges from the other side of the bracket, Cal State Dominguez Hills and North Georgia. 1-2 fouled away again. If Texas Tyler wins this first game, these two teams will have basically game 2 of the day off because they will still play North Georgia and Dominguez Hills at 1:30 local time, and then these two teams would play the if necessary game as the third game of the day. Morales one hopper back to the circle. Goff gets out of it. Nicely done by the Patriots. They had 2 on and 1 out to deal with defensively, and a strikeout and ground out get out of the top of the first inning without giving up a run. We are heading to the bottom half of the frame where all of a sudden one of the hottest offenses in this tournament is going to get its first crack of the day. Shannon Kloss, the leadoff hitter for the Patriots in the bottom of the first, as Texas Tyler got out of that top of the first inning jam and looks to draw first blood here this morning. Shannon Kloss takes a called strike. Shannon's gotten a lot of opportunities this week. She's 5 for 11 with a double. She's been hit by a pitch once and has struck out 1 time, but generally has had a pretty good week.
Been solid in the outfield, too.
Absolutely.
Center field, she's got a lot of ground to cover out there, and has had a solid glove.
Shoots one to the left side, and it is through. Base hit left field. Bowman picks it up and sends it back in. So a leadoff single for the Patriots. Before we tell you more about Andrea Morales, let's set the defense. In the outfield, Bowman, Presnell, and Goss. It's Gibson, Price, Spain, and Watson around the diamond with Rogers catching. Here comes, arguably, the hottest hitter for the Patriots at the plate, Courtney Plochek. What a week she's had.
Racing down first base yesterday off of her home run. She didn't get into the home run trot until almost second base, and I think part of that was hurrying to get back to her teammates in the dugout in the way that she hit that ball.
Plochek thrown out at first base. It's previously 5 for 10 on the week. That's part of the reason why UT Tyler's played well these last couple games. Their top 2 hitters in the order, Shannon and Courtney, have combined to go 10 for 21 in those first 3 games of the tournament. It's setting the table for the middle of the order where this young lady can drive the ball with the best of them, and now she's got a runner in scoring position. Here's Ashley Perez socking one through the right side. That's going to get the job done. Kloss comes home to score from second, and just like that, the Patriots on the board.
Hopping on that first pitch is Perez. She has struggled connecting on some outside pitches early on in this championship, but starting to find her groove and ripping that shot right back through the box for the RBI.
Andrea Morales entering today's game, 14 innings in the tournament, 4 earned runs, but she's given up 20 hits, walked 2 and struck out 13. Opponents are hitting .333 against her. She's run into some good offensive teams, and she hasn't quite had the same level of success we're used to seeing from her. But let's not taint an overall resume of 36-4 on the year, and even with the challenging last couple games, she still has a 1.15 ERA this year with 339 strikeouts over 262 innings. Tatum Goff hit a big 3-run homer in an elimination game earlier this week. And she cuts and misses at strike 3.
Nice comeback by Morales, going up a little bit higher in the zone and throwing a ton of heat behind that pitch.
Mac Dominguez watches ball one upstairs. Dominguez .353 on the season. She's 3 for 9 this week with an RBI. Fights that one off. It was an especially big hit for Ashley Perez because we've given you all week long, we've told you all about the incredible accolades during her collegiate career, but she's been a little quiet at the plate so far this week. Now 2 for 8. Well, Perez has driven home 3 runs this week, including the first one of this game. In the air, hit decently well to right center. What a good job by Kimberly Presnell to run it down and make that catch. Texas Tyler strikes first. Ashley Perez, an RBI single. 1 run on 2 hits in the inning for UT Tyler. Let's take a look at the bracket for the week, just to give you an idea how things have progressed. Again, Rogers State only needs to win 1 out of the 2 games today. Texas Tyler essentially needs to sweep a doubleheader if they want to play in a best of 3 tomorrow. Later today, North Georgia and Cal State Dominguez Hills have the same situation brewing. Look at those scores for North Georgia. Pretty impressive. They've only given up a couple of runs and putting themselves in great shape. Mentioned that it's a comfortable day. It's sunny and it's not overly hot. The temperature's only around 70 degrees, but it's a nice comfortable breeze, and the direction of that wind right now is actually blowing out to left field. So if you hit the ball the right way, you might get a little assistance. What do you think's most key for Texas Tyler on a day where you know exactly what you need to do? You got to find a way to win twice.
Key 1 accomplished, putting the 1 spot up on the board, getting that run under their belt so they're not chasing a run here. Excuse me, I think that was enormous for their psyche to start the day. I think second key is having a couple of innings, string a couple innings together of in and out, not letting anybody get on base, and if they do allow one to get on base, leave them there. And obviously the third is to play clean ball all afternoon.
Tatum Goff delivers a strike. Well, we certainly have seen poor defense do in several teams this week. Rogers State is the only team this week that hasn't made an error in the field. North Georgia, the other team that's unbeaten, They've made only one error in 2 games. UT Tyler made 3 errors in the first game of the tournament that they lost, but over the last 2 games they've played, they made just 1 error combined, so much better defense there. Michaela Bowman. Oh. Ouch.
Bowman looked back to see if it was in fact hit by pitch or a strike, and I think that's exactly why Coach is coming out here to ask that question.
Let's take a look at it ourselves.
Did she swing? No, I don't think she swung.
Catch her on that back
Let's
elbow.
see where it hit her.
Yeah, caught her right on the elbow.
So HBP.
She said herself, she put her hands out and said, hey, just so you know, that's what's up. In the meantime, I wonder if she's got a little bit of blood.
On the elbow.
For any of the doubters, a little blood there. Mm-hmm. So some momentary athletic training attention. Well, this is a young lady at the plate in Alexis Watson that I think similar to Ashley Perez on the other side of things. I mean, Watson's ceiling is so high. And Rogers State knows they've been able to count on her all year. They just haven't seen her really erupt for a big tournament. She's only got 1 double and 7 at-bats. But she is as powerful as any hitter in this field. Swings through that one. Beg your pardon, 1 double and 5 at-bats.
Plenty of home run power, plenty of gap power.
Second straight inning for the Hillcats. They got the leadoff runner on base.
A lot of respect in the outfield right now, straight away and deep. Probably still a good 4 to 5 steps to the warning track.
Goff takes a lot of time between pitches. She looks toward the dugout for the signal. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Watson chased one way out of the zone. A little too anxious in the box that time, and now there's 1 out.
Don't be deceived by the number 7 batter and the top hitter for Rogers State, but Goff doing a really good job keeping that ball low and away and getting Watson to go fishing for 1 out of the zone.
Jalen Gibson now. Gibson lays down a bunt. It was almost perfect. Jalen's 2 for 6 on the week with a couple of RBI. 4 doubles, a triple, and 3 home runs for the Hillcats through their first 2 games of this tournament. But they've got a whole bunch of singles. 22 hits total. Snap throw back to first base, not in time. Cal State Dominguez Hills has been the top offensive team so far. Now they've played 3 games, but as a team, they're hitting almost 400. That's a big reason why the Toros are still left. Gibson shows bunt, pulls back at a pitch too low. You can feel some of the tension here. At times, the fans are really loud and getting behind their teams, but man, it feels like everybody is hanging on every pitch, even though it's only the top of the 2nd inning. That must mean the stakes are awfully high. This bunt is down in good place. Gibson completes a sacrifice and moves Bowman into scoring position. And normally, Leah, when you have the 9-hole hitter coming up, you think, well, this might not be the strongest hitter in the order. Not so fast, my friend. This young lady, Kimberly Presnell, is the hottest hitter in the tournament.
Yeah, I think, old school philosophy that may have applied a long time ago, but with some of these teams, they look at how a player reacts different places in the order, what their demeanor is, being able to see some pitches in the order, and certainly the quality of ball players as you progress on different teams and team success. You better be ready for anything 1 through 9.
Presnell, one of 4 players that leads the tournament with 5 RBI. She is 6 for 7 with a double and a triple. She shoots this one foul. Also has a couple of steals, hasn't been thrown out. Made a couple putouts, had an outfield assist. No errors. Right now, everything Kimberly Presnell's doing is working out nicely. Down in the count 0-2. Unsurprisingly, sees one well off the plate. Presnell through the middle, she does it again. Good arm from Kloss. They cut the throw, and the Hillcats have erased that deficit. We're tied at 1.
Taking advantage of a stinging hard hit shot here by Presnell. As soon as that bobble comes in, infielders should be yelling second base, trying to hold Presnell to first. And instead, now another runner in scoring position here for Spain.
One ball, no strikes. Chelsea walked her last time up. Gosh, has that kid been clutch or what? Mike Reed coming out of the third base dugout to bring his infield together as the Hillcat faithful. They've only scored once against Tatum Goff, the first time through the order. But a walk, a hit batter, and a couple of base hits against her would indicate that they're seeing the ball decently well. Rogers and Watson chased strike 3 out of the zone, but outside of that, everybody else has had a pretty good eye at the plate so far. Mike Reed, one of the winningest coaches at any level of NCAA softball. He's got a good plan coming into today, and he believes his team is capable of sweeping these Hillcats. Gonna have to come up with one thing at a time, though. Good eye there from Spain. It's 2 balls and no strikes. Looks like there is action down that left field line. So the leash for Goff could be a little bit shorter. That's a good off-speed pitch that dipped in there for a called strike. Sarah Gartman, Kaylee Davis both have pitched in this tournament so far. Gartman wears number 13. Yeah, that other pitcher warming up is not Davis, but it's actually, I beg your pardon, Gartman wears 4. Peyton Foster wears 13.
So the activity starting quickly as soon as Coach Reed went out.
J.C. Henry's down there too.
You hope that Goff can get out of the inning for you.
2-2. Presnell at second, 2 outs. Top of the second inning, full count, already 1 run across. for Rogers State. They left 2 on base without scoring in the first. Trying to put up a crooked number here in the second. The inning continues after Spain draws another walk.
This certainly puts a different spin on thing as the Hillcats start the ride. The Rally Hats, very creative this afternoon. Got head cover. I'd give a 10 for the full hat as far as UV rays.
It is awfully bright today.
Yep.
Yesterday was overcast.
Things you do to keep busy on your day off. Arts and crafts.
Here's Nicole Price, who was robbed by Plocek on that incredible web gem last time up.
Absolutely.
Price having a great tournament. Only has 1 ribby, but has a chance to maybe drive in another one here. 2 on, 2 out, top of 2. 1-1 game.
Good job by Bailey Simone at short to cover third on the pitch as Plocek is trying to charge a little bit.
That one painted the black on the inside edge.
Mm-hmm.
Count runs full. So deuce is wild. 2 on, 2 out, 2-2 count. And it's the second inning. You're right.
Do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do.
Well, the full count. Runners at first and second here mean they'll be off with a pitch, which would only help Price if she can put it in play. High and tight, another walk. And they're loaded up for Lana Goss.
That's pretty solid discipline at the plate, too, because it was borderline inside on the fists, and you have to understand the strike zone as it appears that everyone's warmed up and ready to go as the entourage heads back down to the dugout.
I'm not sure Tatum Goff is going to see Lana. Time for a pitching change. Sarah Gartman on her way in. And the RSU faithful love where they're at right now. Drama building in Denver as Gartman comes on. This inning got underway with a hit by pitch. Had a sac bunt after a strikeout, and then Kimberly Presnell roasted one through the middle of the diamond. Delivered with her 7th hit in 8 at-bats so far this week. And since then, back-to-back walks. Goff walked 3 and hit a batter in the first 11 that she faced.
Gartman on the season, a 1.83 ERA, 20-6 on the year. Check that. 9-1 on the year. This is her 27th appearance in this championship. This is her 3rd appearance with a 1.62 ERA and 4 1/3 innings pitched. Has given up 4 hits, 3 runs.
Goss singled to shortstop last time up. And it hits the inside corner for a strike. I don't think we introduced our umpires. I'm sorry about that. Eddie Hall has the plate today. Bill Gattuso umpiring at first. And Kevin Condor down the third base line. Outside for a ball. Critical point early on here for UT Tyler. Gartman's pitch hits the corner. The scoreboard says 3-1, but that's not the count. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Big pitch coming. We've seen a lot of deep counts all week.
Disciplined batters, right?
For sure. Now it's a full count. Presnell at third, Spain at second, Price at first. Rogers State has already scored once in the second inning. Gartman has to throw a strike. This is ripped into the gap in left center. Presnell and Spain score easily. Here comes Price. She's in standing up. You want to talk about clutch hitting? How about these Hillcats?
You said a 3-2 count, patient. Got one a little bit over the plate, and pretty much, Brendan, in the same spot as her last hit, except this one scooted through the gap and found its way to the wall to clear the bases.
So we've got our first major moment of this critical game between Rogers State and Texas Tyler. Here's Abby Rogers. 2 home runs already in the tournament. Gartman gave Goss a pitch that was way too good. And if she makes a mistake to Rogers, she could really pay for it, but this is popped up on the infield, and Avery Farr makes the inning-ending catch. But the Hillcat faithful are on their feet. Kimberly Presnell, an RBI single, and then Lena Goss cleared the bases on a 3-run double. Rogers State leads at 4-1 in the middle of the second. How about Lena Goss? Huge base hit for the young lady out of Tahlequah, Oklahoma. Tahlequah Sequoia High School, just a sophomore. That's her biggest hit of this tournament for sure. Big swing and miss from Bailey Simone. We've certainly seen Goss have some good games throughout the year. She had a 3-for-3 day against Central Oklahoma back in mid-April. Lots of multi-hit games. At one point in late April, she had hit safely in 6 out of 7. Went through a little bit of a dry spell against Washburn, Winona State, and Minnesota State toward the end of the year. But she's climbing out of it. She only had, coming into this game, only had 1 RBI dating back to May 5th. So maybe that's the big pitch that helps get her off the schneid. It was a lazy fly out to left field. Bailey Simone is put away, but it was a little bit of an adventure for Bowman.
Yeah, Bowman kind of looked down at Price. She's a little bit taller than Price, as if to say, are you sure it's me? And this is where Price has to go out and use her arms. Now, maybe they can hear a little bit better than I can right now. Actually, Price is looking at her. Seems like she directed her, but it would help if she pointed to her and said, you know, it's you, as well as yelling, because it is pretty loud here in the stadium this afternoon.
Amanda Marek down on the count, 0-2. What does this do for somebody like Drea Morales to, know that, hey, maybe I don't have my absolute A+ best stuff this week, but I'm competing as best I can, and and my team just went out and threw 4 runs up on the board. Now I can go out and pitch.
This is not only a calming factor for Morales, who is very confident in her play anyways, but you've got a 4 spot, especially here in the championship where, during the season you might be able to get away with a 1 spot against your opponents. But we have seen, and you mentioned last inning, this has been a little bit more of a hitter's tournament championship than we have seen in the past, with some dominating pitching all the way through. And I think it bodes extremely well in the confidence in.
Marek,
but then again,
Marek tattoos
welcome back
one.
to the inn.
How about that? Amanda Marek just destroyed a pitch over the left field fence. We're going to talk about punch and counterpunch. Marek with her 7th home run of the season on a no doubt about it laser over the left field fence. And the Patriots answer back. It's 4-2.
We talked about Amanda Marek's glove and how she's helped this team, but you know what? She got that one right up in the solid part of her wheelhouse and just tattooed it to left field.
Here's Sam's shot. But again, just to go back to the point we made earlier, you started to reference this. Solo homers, they happen, right? That's okay. Work around it. You still got a 2-run lead if you're Morales here. Your Texas Tyler, I thought it was really important they do something this inning to make themselves feel like, hey, that's all right, we'll answer right back.
Yeah, chip away. Chip away, chip away. And even if you only get 1 right now in this inning, you're breathing a little. You're like, okay, all right, we're chipping. Gives you a little confidence going back to the field.
Ton of room out in left center if Schott can pull it. But instead chases one out of the zone for strike 3. So there's 2 gone, and here comes Avery Farr.
First baseman number 21, Avery Farr.
Well, 1 pitch to Farr is way too high. Avery Farr looking for her first hit of the week. 0 for 5.
Well, pretty good. Pretty good spot. And if it missed by a millimeter.
Farr stays alive. Two and 2. Good fight here from Avery. Farr putting together a really good at-bat. Somewhere along the way, maybe Morales will make a mistake, and she wants to be ready for it. Now Drea's got to throw her a good one. Well, that fastball would have caught the outside corner, but Farr got a piece of it. Wind is really blowing in at the moment.
There's a pretty good storm going on behind us.
Swing and a miss, strike 3. Got her swinging. Avery Farr, the third strikeout victim for Morales here this afternoon. But the Patriots get one closer. It's 4-2 thanks to Amanda Marek ripping one over the left field fence. A solo shot that cuts it to a 2-run game as we go to the third.
The NCAA thanks their corporate champions, AT&T, Capital One, and Coca-Cola, and their corporate partners, Aflac.
Sunny skies overhead, but dark, ominous clouds in the distance.
Stay over that way.
Yeah, please, thank you. Please, please. Pretty please. Hits the outside corner on the first pitch of this top of the third. Rogers State 4, Texas Tyler 2. Rogers State needs to win only one game today out of 2 possible in order to punch its ticket to a best-of-3 National Championship Series. One game tomorrow, game 2, and if necessary, game 3 on Tuesday. In the meantime, Morales, the only one not to bat in that 4-run explosion last inning. She's down in the count 0-2, and you get the impression she doesn't like that. Big shoes right now for Sarah Gartman. You know, she came in a tough spot with the bases loaded, and obviously the 3 runs she allowed were all inherited, and so they don't go on her line, but I'm sure she feels the weight of giving that up a little bit. This one is absolutely torched to Courtney Plochek for the first out. Wow.
Plochek has made 2 nice grabs today early in this game. Money right there. A hard hit shot. Of course, the pop-up and foul play that she dove for.
Courtney and Bailey Simone, the shortstop, have 2 errors each this week. They both have played better since that opening night. That one slipped through both of them. Base hit. Michaela Bowman aboard in the third. And now Alexis Watson. Going to get a pinch runner for Bowman as we get another look at the base hit. Marissa Smith will be the pinch runner.
Offenses change for Rogers State. Now running at first base for Marissa Smith. Now Alexis Watson.
Watson struck out swinging last time up. As you get a look at Smith. Way upstairs. I wouldn't normally say this about catchers like Rogers and Perez because they've both been so good this year. But because we've seen some unexpected bad play from catching this week, it's so important. You got to keep the ball in front of you.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Watson hits one high to shallow
Smith's gotta
right.
get back here.
Yeah, she sure does. Catch is made, and Smith scampered back in time. Watson a little dejected, heads back to the dugout. We kind of got off the end of the bat, and I think the wind held it up from going a bit further. So Jalen Gibson with a runner on and 2 outs. Anyways, if you're Gartman, I think you come into this inning and you try to take it personally. Right, I realize the quote-unquote, the stats aren't going on your line of those 4 runs, but, she wasn't able to keep it a 1-1 game. And so now she needs to find a way to keep the Patriots as tight as they can.
Ooh.
Good changeup.
She'll do it with that.
Absolutely.
She can mix that in, no question about it. It was completely off-speeding it there.
That was a good pitch, but a great piece of hitting and a diving play by Marek. Last inning, she did it with her bat. This inning with a seriously great web gem. Amanda Marek and Courtney Plochek both with some sweet diving catches early on.
There's a national championship on the line. You give it all you got. And Amanda Marek doing it at the plate and with a flashy web gem. You're watching the NCAA Division II Championships on NCAA.com.
Did you know that Division II has over 125,000
Back and rolling here as we start the bottom of the third inning with a first pitch that was called a strike on the outside corner. Texas Tyler at the top of the batting order. Kloss, Plochek, and Perez after they played really good defense in the top of the third.
center fielder number 17, Shannon Kloss.
Klaus singled and scored back in that first inning on the big Ashley Perez RBI base knock. Two balls and a strike. This guy's getting dark.
Yeah, it's
back to the west here.
Yeah, it's rolling pretty quick from behind us, and it's started from this morning out of the south and heading kind of northeast around Golden right now and kind of pushing towards us. So hopefully the wind changes and it continues to blow away from downtown.
2-2 pitch. Hit in the air down the left field line and foul. It's funny. And obviously we're showing you a couple of pictures that don't look so good, but from our seat looking
Fantastic.
straight ahead, I mean, what could be better? Blue sky,
Well, they say,
gorgeous day.
Say never look in the rearview mirror, right?
Yeah, what? I feel like this is some kind of a, how do you look at life kind of thing. Playable. Price squeezes it. Klaus is retired in foul ground.
Third base number 20, Courtney Plochek.
Courtney Plochek stands in. Fingers crossed, that's the best we can say at this point. Courtney Plochek tried to hit one twice as far as she did yesterday when she dismantled the ball over the right field fence on what I still think is probably the hardest exit velocity of the week.
Took a cut at one there to try to recapture that moment.
And both times 0-2. Had a sack bunt last time up. Courtney shoots one in the air pretty well to left field. The Patriots have another dinger. Two solo homers, back-to-back innings. Marek in the second and now Plochek in the third. And this is a 4-3 ball game. Courtney Plochek does not get cheated.
Courtney showing her power the opposite way. This one by Morales, left out on the outside corner of the plate, the meat of the bat. And suddenly, we have a one-run game.
Texas Tyler has scored in each of their first three innings. One run in each frame so far. Morales Needs to recenter herself. Perez an RBI single last time up. She chops this one up the third baseline. It's a fair ball, and Ashley beats it out at first base. It was dropped by Watson, but I think Perez was safe anyways. How about Ashley Perez?
Bumped off the top of the plate. And the plate's in fair territory, right? So you just keep running it out. And Perez is on, the All-American.
That's something I didn't think I'd read in my scorebook this week. Ashley Perez, single to third base. And not even all the way to third base.
No, no.
Great hustle. Good for her. So the batter is Tatum Goff. Not a bad miss, but apparently off the plate. And I think we're going to get a pinch runner for Perez here. Is that Michelle Arias? Nope. Grace Davis. Grace Davis will run.
Offensive change for the Patriots. Now running at first base, number 5, Grace Davis.
Dangerous moment here for the Hillcats. Hefty bat of Tatum Goff. The plate. Speed at first. With Davis coming in.
3 balls and no strikes to Goff. That one caught the corner. High pop up on the infield. Good catch by Gibson. So Goff is retired. By the way, Marissa Smith has stayed in the game to play left field in place of Michaela Bowman. So for now, Bowman is out. We'll see if she re-enters at some point. First pitch down low to Mac Dominguez. Tying run is at first with 2 outs. Dominguez, hard grounder to Price. She'll go to first base and get the inning ending out. Texas Tyler won't go down without a fight. The Hillcats scored 4 in the second, but the Patriots keep on swinging. This time it's Courtney Plochek, second home run of the week, and it's 4-3 as we go to the 4th. Well, we're starting the top of the 4th inning with a 4-3 lead for Rogers State. Texas Tyler needs to beat Rogers State twice today if they want to win a national championship still. And the Patriots have scored in each of the first 3 innings, but they gave up 4 in the top of the 2nd. Kimberly Presnell, who's the leadoff hitter here, drove home the first run on an RBI single up the middle. She is now 7 for 8 this week. The other 3 runs came on a bases-clearing double from Lena Goss. Presnell softly hit to second, tough play, and she beat it again. She's impossible to get out. Oh, Presnell is safe to open the 4th.
Using her speed on a ball that as it hits, it kind of spun. And Presnell motoring through the bag. That's all you can ask.
Chelsea Spain has walked twice. Spain showed bunt and went after it. Am I losing my mind? Didn't she bat left-handed last time? Maybe I'm just loony. She's not listed as a switch hitter, and there's no reason for her to have batted left-handed against a left-handed pitcher, but I don't know why. I thought she batted left-handed last time. Struggling to get a bunt down. 0-2 the count. Four runs, 5 hits, no errors, 4 left for Rogers State. 3 runs, 5 hits, no errors, 2 left for Texas Tyler. Mentioned it yesterday, but the reality is, in this tournament the last several years, the best team out of the state of Texas has fared very well in this national tournament. And in their first year as a D2 full season and postseason eligible team, the Patriots are trying to prove that they can carry on that tradition. Number 1 in the country, 13 of the 14 weeks the poll was out. 8 of those weeks they were unanimous number 1. This ball's hit pretty well into left field. Diving effort, but shot can't catch it. Presnell is flying around third, and she's going to score standing up. It's an RBI for Chelsea Spain. The Hillcats lead it 5-3.
Solid effort. And once it scoots, it's a long way for Klaus to come over and pick up that ball. And Presnell with her speed as Rogers State gets the run back.
Too high for Price. Price walked and scored last time up. She's also popped out on a bunt. Well, these two teams are both proving that they are offensively capable of making it difficult on the other, and that's not a big surprise. They've both leaned pretty heavily in their offense this year, and in a tournament where you get such good offenses and I would say good but not overpowering pitchers, probably puts a little more stress on you in the circle than we've seen in previous years, where we've had a couple of pitchers that every time they took the ball you thought, I don't know how they're going to lose.
Right. 100%.
That's bunted foul. We've seen that with Grand Valley State, with Southern Indiana, seen it in the past with North Georgia, obviously with Augustana and West Texas A&M. There's been some outstanding pitching, although admittedly the Lady Buffs last year hit the cover off the ball. Down and away. Full count to Price. Temperature is dropping considerably. It is cooler now than it's been at any point. That storm is rapidly approaching, even though it's still clear skies out in front of us. It's getting a little cloudier and very windy overhead. Way up and in. So Price walks, first and second, nobody out. And here comes Goss. We had the big base knock in the second inning that gave this Hillcat offense its big lead. Single and a double for Lena so far. I love the all gas, no brakes cheer. That seems pretty fitting. One and one. By the way, don't automatically assume that just because it starts raining that we would be in a delay either. It would have to be either lightning or just a deluge that would make it unplayable. Good news is we have an all-turf surface, so that's not going to be a problem. Elena takes one on the inside corner, called strike, 1-2. That one's going to get through the middle. She delivers again. Spain scores standing up. The ball scoots away, and both runners move up. 4 RBIs today for Gas.
Solid base running here on a ball that really Goss went out and got. It's kind of a off-speed pitch, back up through the middle. And aggressive base running, keeping their eyes open. Runners move up now. No force, second and third. And a change in the circle.
For the first time this week, we're going to see J.C. Henry have a chance to pitch. (6-3) Rogers State with 2 in scoring position here and still nobody out. Why don't you tell us a little bit about J.C. Henry?
J.C. Henry with that 2.77 ERA on the season. For Henry, 3-1 on the year. This will be her 8th appearance. She's pitched just 17 2/3 innings on the season. Giving up 17 hits, 8 runs, 10 base on balls, 20 strikeouts on the year. In this, she will be facing the 69th batter of the season.
So, Gartman goes an inning and a third. So far, she's given up 2 runs on 5 hits, but she's responsible for both base runners. A walk and no strikeouts for Gartman. 6-3 Texas Tyler on the wrong end. And right now, they've got to find a way to avoid giving up any more runs, if at all possible.
Man, and with first base open, you're definitely going to be pitching around number 24.
Abby Rogers. You're right, if she gets one to drive, it's a mistake pitch. Perhaps the storm clouds that are lurking are a microcosm of what this Hillcat offense is trying to signify. They're ready to erupt as Rogers cans one deep out to right field. Deep enough to get Price to come home and to send Gas from second to third. Sack fly for Abby Rogers, 7-3. Now the DP, Bridget Morales. By the way, Michaela Bowman is back in the on-deck circle, so it looks like she'll re-enter for Marissa Smith. This impressive trend this weekend of scoring runs in bunches. 4 in the second, 3 in the fourth so far. Runner at third with 1 out here. Great block by Ashley Perez. off the end of the bat, not hit hard enough. That's a ground out for Morales. Runner stays put over at third base, and Michaela Bowman will re-enter here officially.
Protect the lead, right? Protect the lead. And a good job there, base running wise. As you said, not a sharply hit ball at all. A good job and a good focus there by Dominguez to stick on the play.
Henry's pitch is popped up. Might be playable. Oh, great effort. Farr couldn't come up with it, but not for a lack of trying. Seven runs on 7 hits for the Hillcats. Can they add another? Sharp grounder to short. Good hands by Simone, who throws her out. Good job by J.C. Henry. She comes in, gives up 1 run on that sacrifice fly, but otherwise keeps this game still within reach. Middle of the 4th inning, Rogers State leads it 7-3, thanks to Chelsea Spain, Lena Goss, and Abby Rogers coming through big in this inning.
You know, you don't want to take that load yourself. You know, you just want to make some good contact, get on base here. She's seeing the ball really well. She felt that she had ball 4 there. They are going to try to pitch around her a little bit with her success. She's hit the ball very hard all weekend.
I'm not sure if I'm more impressed with her bat or with her glove, because they've both been
I tell you what, she's a complete player. She's got a strong arm, too.
Yeah, she does.
Very strong arm in the
I feel
outfield.
like she's kind of sneaky. She just kind of hides in that order. She's not you know, the Ashley Perez or Courtney Plochek type slugger. This young lady can really play.
Well, and the other key piece.
This is hit really nicely down the left field line. It's going to get in the corner. Marek, stand-up double. 2 extra base hits. We'll fire the Patriots back up.
Yeah, that's definitely going to bring her average over 300 for this championship series. And Amanda was fighting it off. Thought she had a walk. You know what? You stay in and you hit full count, 3-2. 2 for 2 on the day with the homer and the double. The other piece of that here is Arias will pinch hit, Brendan, is the fact that Mark out at second base can not only play right field, but she also is versatile and play first base. So if you're a young student athlete, I can't tell you how many coaches we've talked to this year and progressively through the last 3 years. They're looking for the versatile player. They're looking for that athlete who can get it done for them, saying, hey, I can play first, I can play third. I can give you what you need if you're down with injuries or whatever. And
I feel like
Mark
the question,
provides that.
yeah, I feel like the question's been asked a lot lately about, you know, specializing in sport. How young should I be if I want to specialize? And I can't tell you how many coaches I've talked to that said, forget that.
Absolutely.
I want the best athlete.
Absolutely.
I want somebody who has the hand-eye coordination that can play softball, but the stamina to go play soccer or run cross country. You know, I mean, figure out a way to be a good athlete.
And that's at all levels, Brendan.
Wow, that got knocked down quickly. Good throw to third base. Not in time, though. What a throw from Goss. Right on the money.
Goss put some heat behind it. And Mark, fortunately for her, she got back to the bag quick and a real good jump. And the best thing about that for Goss was she got her feet around Brendan. She was able to get good momentum going towards third base. She lined herself up perfectly to make that a very close play.
Audrey Escamilla now going to pinch hit for Avery Farr. That is right to Watson on one hop, practically standing on the base. Tough break. Amanda Marek with a nice double with one out, but she is stranded in scoring position. And for the first time in this game, the Patriots do not score in an inning. We're heading to the 5th in a 7-3 contest. We're in the top of the 5th inning. The Rogers State Hillcats have a 7-3 lead. If they can win this game, or if they lose and win the next game, they would be on to Monday's best of 3, game 1. Hillcats are in the driver's seat at the moment as Watson takes a strike. She has struck out and flied out. Mentioned it earlier, but in case you joined us late, these two teams were supposed to play each other earlier in the season, and they were snowed out. And the games were never made up as Watson got one on the handle of the bat, drove it deep and foul into the bullpen there.
Yeah. You hear the fans yelling out of here. Well, the wind is blowing so much, yeah, that ball did get out of here. foul territory.
Watson has almost looked a little frustrated with herself at the plate. Let's see if she can relax a little bit here, even though she's got 2 strikes. That's the second time she's chased one out of the strike zone. And it's the first out in the 5th inning.
The frustration mounts because you want something to hit. And Watson is a young lady who just broke the single season walk record on Friday with 38 walks, or 38th of the season, excuse me. But, you want to be a part of it. You want to get a hit, and you've got to be disciplined just as you were during the regular season and take that walk. She's not going to get anything good.
Gibson 0 for 2, sack bunt, and a fly out to right field. Henry checks over her shoulder for a moment. And now JC comes home. That's a good pitch. I think JC also wins the unofficial contest for tallest player in the field this week.
Possibly.
I would imagine that standing in the box against someone that tall, that's got to be a little more intimidating.
Yeah. Possibly.
She throws hard. Not quite. By the way, Avery Farr re-entered as the first baseman. But Arias has stayed in the game to play left field. Didn't miss by much.
No, she did not.
One gone, bases clear, top of 5. Gibson draws the free pass. And brings up Kimberly Presnell. Don't mistake Presnell's small stature for her mighty bat. And unfortunately, they are going to not postpone, they're going to delay the game officially right now at 12:25. So, we are officially in a weather delay. Not sure how long this will last. You can obviously see it's raining at the moment. I don't think it's raining immediately here, but it's obviously close enough. We'll share some details with you when we get some. I haven't seen any lightning. That doesn't mean that there hasn't been any within 8 miles. But it'll probably be a 30-minute delay. That seems to be the normal protocol. So I would anticipate that we're going to be delayed here for roughly half an hour. We'll put up a weather delay graphic as we did earlier in the week when we had a lightning delay, and we'll let you know when this game is projected to start. The 5 p.m. time there that's listed on that graphic currently was from earlier in the week, so we'll update that for you with some information, let you know when we'll get back underway. In the meantime, Rogers State, they are sitting pretty. 7-3, they lead this game. They're batting in the top of the 5th inning with 1 out and a runner on base. Leah Secondo and I will be back here in just a bit. You're watching live streaming coverage of the Game 11 here at the 2022 National Championship Tournament on NCAA.com. After a little more than 2 hours and 20 minutes after those rain showers, and you can see the lightning that accompanied it came through. The rain will leave us alone here for a couple of hours. That's a good thing. We're going to be able to get the rest of this game in, or, geez, we sure think so. It looks promising here for the next couple of hours. So we will resume action in this game in the top of the 5th inning, and this is an important game. Again, if you didn't catch perhaps the beginning of the game, the stakes are pretty obvious. Rogers State 7-3 over UT Tyler right now, and if Rogers State wins, Texas Tyler's season is over, and Rogers State would play for the national championship starting tomorrow. Let's get you caught up, Leah, on how things went so far. I think Texas Tyler is, trying to string things together one inning at a time, but it's been a couple of big innings for Rogers State that hurt them.
Yeah, absolutely. Start with the Patriots first. They score those runs 1-1-1. You can't keep scoring just one run against this highly potent Rogers State offense because it will bite you. And despite the Amanda Mark home run, which was a solo shot that brought it within 4-2, it was really that 4-run second and then the big 3-run fourth that was the difference. Plowcheck also had a home run for UT Tyler as well. But, the things just keep mounting between doubles and bases clearing doubles, and that was a huge one right there. You go and you make a great opportunity on a shot by shot, but the base running by Rogers State, the Hillcats, has been really superb, really pushing the envelope against this UT Tyler team.
Elena Gass with a bases clearing double. Abby Rogers has a sac fly. In fact, Gass had an additional RBI single. Chelsea Spain, an RBI double. Kimberly Presnell is proving nearly impossible to retire. She was 6 for 7 in her first 2 games of this championship tournament, and she started today 2 for 2 with 2 runs scored and a ribby. And it's basically come from just about every spot in the order. Only 2 of the Hillcats, 3 of the Hillcats have not gotten on base at some point during this game. So we'll resume action just a moment while the Hillcats and Patriots enjoy the waning moments here of this 30-minute warm-up period that should conclude. I think we were told at 4:47 would have been the time they could restart, but perhaps they started the clock a minute or 2 late. So it shouldn't be long here before we get underway. In the meantime, North Georgia is waiting in the wings. The North Georgia Nighthawks are going to play against Cal State Dominguez Hills, the Toros, in the second game of the day. And, today's the day in the tournament. We don't really know how this is all going to wind up. Could play 2 games, could play 3, could play 4. We need to find a way to get down to the 2 remaining teams to start tomorrow, the National Championship Best of 3 series. Let's take a look at the bracket just while we have a minute or so. You can see a couple of the results there that have led to Rogers State being in the winner's bracket with that 2-0 start. Texas Tyler needs to win twice. On the flip side, same story for North Georgia. They've been really, really good, beating up on Adelphi and the number 3 team in the country, Auburn Montgomery. They run-ruled them 8-0 in 5 innings yesterday. All right, so the public address announcer has just said that we are just about ready to go. The situation here, Rogers State offensively, Alexis Watson struck out to begin the inning, and then Jalen Gibson walked. And so she's at first base. There's 1 out in the top of the 5th, and J.C. Henry comes back to take the circle. I think J.C. Henry was doing during that last couple hours to try and stay both loose, but not too loose. You got to get mentally locked in.
These guys, they get into their locker room, they're braiding their hair, they're playing cards, they're listening to music, dancing. It's pretty simple times of locker room business, especially when you can't go anywhere with the way that the lightning and the rain was materializing.
We're going to have a pinch runner right out of the gate here for Gibson over at first base. Rogers State is using Rebecca Bell to pinch run. All right. 2 hours and 23 minutes later, back we go. Right back to Henry. Could that have possibly gone any better for the Patriots? 1 pitch and they're out of the inning.
A fired up defense and flip the 6-3 double play. Add a 1 to it.
Well, we're back with you here during the commercial break because it was called just a little later than I would have expected, but they asked for a review here at first base to make sure that that actually was an out. Called out in real time. Again, the reviews are done back at DVC Sport headquarters in Pittsburgh. A little slow-mo look at it.
Yeah, and that's the really good angle without the fence in it. That's shot from center field camera.
She might
It's
be
a sweet
safe.
one. I agree with you. She may very well be safe. I think she is. They are going to be challenged really hard in Pittsburgh to come up with the. That was bang bang for sure.
All right, so the Patriots are waiting on pins and needles. I mean, it is so close. Out at first base. They are upholding the call, and it is a inning-ending 1-6-3 double play. All right. So Andrea Vaughn and company lose their challenge, and it's 7-3 in the bottom of the fifth. Bottom of the fifth inning. Kind of feels like we're still getting our bearings back underneath us after a 2-hour and 23-minute delay. But after one pitch, Texas Tyler turned a double play that was upheld on replay. And so UT Tyler goes back to work offensively, down 7-3 with Shannon Kloss, the batter, top of the order here for the Patriots against Andrea Morales.
Can't take them with you. We're getting late in the game, so why not, right?
Absolutely. Chop to the left side of the infield. Good quick release by Price. One out.
Price doesn't charge that ball, and no question, Kloss beats that one out. Good job coming to it, and the nice fluid motion across her body.
Gibson re-entered at third base after she was pinch run for. Here is Courtney Plochak, who homered her last time up. Also has a sack bunt today. A couple home runs for her in as many days after hitting a really impressive homer yesterday over the right field fence. Today took one opposite field. Probably too early for Texas Tyler to start counting outs, but got to be productive here. There's an awful lot of room out in right center field. They're really shading her the other way, which certainly tells me they want to work her, not give her anything over the middle half of the plate.
Which makes Morales' job even harder.
This ball back to the warning track. Grabbed by Bowman. Well struck. But that's two gone now in the fifth. And Ashley Perez will come to the plate. We have a brief delay here. I'm not sure
Maybe they
entirely
were
what
checking
that was for.
When Davis ran for Perez. Did we get past? Back in
Oh,
the,
yeah, that
maybe?
could have been it. Well, but Perez, I mean, she'd been catching, right?
Right.
So she had re-entered.
Right.
Might as well
Better
just
be safe.
triple check, I guess. One ball, no strikes against a very dangerous hitter who hadn't done a whole lot the first couple games of the tournament, but she's got two singles and an RBI today. Oh, that was a mistake. Perez was late on it. That was over the middle of the plate and very drivable. One and one. Perez hits one a country mile, but it is foul. Easily the furthest ball hit this week.
Yeah, might have been 2 country miles.
Oh, my goodness.
Actually, it might have been 3 continent miles.
That ball almost landed on the freeway overpass,
My goodness.
but it was foul. Holy smokes. Not going to make that mistake again. Chopped out towards short. Perez hustling. And she's thrown out. Good play by Price a couple times this half inning. And Morales sends the Patriots down 1-2-3 for the first time here this afternoon. We're heading to the 6th. Rogers State 7, Texas Tyler 3.
Uh-oh.
Yep. Well, hold on a second. They are going to take a look at it. Mike Reed says, hey, I think maybe Perez was safe. And as you mentioned, you can't take it with you, so before we go to break, we'll review it. I think it's fair to assume here they're reviewing the safe or out call at first base. Let's take a look. I can see why I'd want it reviewed. It's pretty close.
That ball hitting the plate really deadened it, didn't it? Good hustle there by Perez.
So a couple of full speed replays, and we'll show you a slow motion replay here shortly. Call on the field was out. Have to be clear evidence to overturn it. I think they got it right. That is awfully close, though. All right, let's see what the decision is. Runner is out. Call is upheld. And we are going to the 6th inning. Great work by our production crew on good replays there. All right, 7-3 Rogers State. Top of the 6th coming up. Well, teams from Texas and Oklahoma don't often like each other, but these two teams seem to be fairly friendly. It's made this for a fun afternoon. This isn't the Red River rivalry, but UT Tyler and Rogers State certainly putting on a great show. 4 runs in the 2nd, 3 runs in the 4th for Rogers State. They've scored in bunches when they have scored all week. They go to the top of the order here against J.C. Henry. First pitch swinging, grounded to Simone. We have had some lightning quick at-bats since the delay concluded. Nicole Price, a couple of walks. He also popped out in foul ground on a bunt. 2 runs scored. Henry's pitch home missed the zone. UT Tyler, they're closing in very quickly on 100 wins as a team since they joined Division II. This one's fouled away. Pretty darn good, this group. 98-18 as a Division II opponent. Played great ball in the LSC this year. Made their way through a tough region. And really, both these two teams did. Oh, that one catches the strike zone. 1-2.
Now, JC can kind of fiddle a little bit here and waste one. Maybe go in on her hands. Don't want to help her and push that ball to that left side.
Nicole Price has played so well defensively. Let's see if she could match something with her bat here. Texas Tyler at Division III, the national champions 6 years ago. Just missed the outside corner. This is definitely a championship caliber program. They've run into a really good offense here this afternoon. Can't afford to have that deficit get any larger. It's going to be a tall order against Drea Morales moving forward. One thing at a time, though. Price just foul.
Just foul.
Henry's pitch is grounded toward Mac Dominguez. Mac makes the second put out. Well, J.C. Henry is proving to be a ground ball pitcher.
Yep.
3 batters faced, all of them beat it into the ground. 2 down for Lena Gass, who is 3 for 3 today with 4 RBIs, including a 3-run double back in the second inning. Outfield playing straight up, medium deep. Infield back. Oh boy, that couldn't have felt good. Hopefully it caught her above the knee.
And the way that Goss slammed her bat down, I'm going to guess that it was not in a meaty area.
I think Taylor Redding may come on. Yep, she is going to pinch run. Ooh,
Ouch.
caught her right on the calf.
Yeah. Redding has been their pitch runner of choice in opportunities. And with 2 outs. This will get interesting here because nowhere to put Rogers again for the second consecutive time that she has been up. Let's see how we have an idea where J.C. Henry's going to try to pitch to her. She's been more consistently going towards that outside corner. How will Rogers adjust? She's up a little bit more in the box.
Rogers drives it pretty well to right center, and it gets over. Home run, Abby Rogers. Touch 'em all time for the Hillcats. Third home run of the tournament for Rogers on a line drive that just barely hung up enough.
Yeah, talk about making it. See how far up she is in the plate. Gets that pitch to the outside. She was not up that far. And easily out of the yard. Her teammates waiting for her at home plate, waving to her. Come to us. The celebration begins.
Bridget Morales, 0 for 3. That one hits the corner. And now, things are looking dire for the Patriots. Down 6. They've got 6 outs offensively left to play with. Morales fouls it out of play. Temperature has cooled off considerably.
Things are flying.
It is very windy, and after a warm morning, it is definitely
a very warm morning. And
yeah.
people had T-shirts on. People now have blankets on.
Definitely.
Hoodies are up.
Takes outside 1-2. North Georgia and Cal State Dominguez Hills scheduled to follow this game. On the appeal, she didn't go. J.C. Henry trying to lock in. 1 strike away. And she gets it. Good strikeout there for JC. But the Hillcats with a big-time exclamation point. They had a bases-clearing 3-run double in the second and a 2-run homer from Abby Rogers here in the sixth, her 3rd home run of the tournament. It comes at a critical time, and the Hillcats can taste it. Defensive changes for the Hillcats. Kimberly Presnell has gone from center to right, and Taylor Redding has stayed in the game for Lana Gass, and she is playing center field here in the 6th inning.
And a very deep center field. There she goes. She adjusted herself there. I was worried she was like standing right on the warning track when that first pitch came. Still not too far off of it.
Big swing and miss from Tatum Goff, who is 0 for 2 with a strikeout.
A lot of respect and a lot of room for Goff to work here.
Goff, a very good hitter.
Yeah.
And still her 3-run homer in this tournament was one of the more exciting and defining moments of the entire week so far. They were down 5-4, and she hit a 3-run home run to put her team up 7-5. And they added 5 more runs in the same inning after that home run and won that elimination game over Southern Indiana 12-5.
Goff up in the box too, and really over that plate.
Tatum swings through it for strike 3. Patriots still have time, but they're in trouble.
4th consecutive batter taken down by the Hillcats in a row. And pretty good liftoff there by Morales as she pushed off the rubber.
Mac Dominguez hitless in 2 at-bats. Popped up to shallow center, very windy, but Redding has it. Dominguez 0 for 3 now. A couple flyouts and a ground out. And here comes Bailey Simone. Patriots going to try to do it with 2 outs here. Simone's bunt is picked up foul.
You know, it's pretty deceiving. You had talked about how J.C. Henry was one of the tallest players. But when Rogers stands up behind home plate,
She is. She's pretty tall,
she's pretty
too.
tall.
Abby Rogers is listed at 6 foot. She and Michaela Hillman, the 2 tallest players on the team. I'd love to know how tall J.C. Henry is. 1-1. Big swing and miss.
Ran that right, started on the outside, ran right in on her hands.
These Hillcats have not skipped a beat during that almost 2.5-hour delay. It's almost like that's what Morales needed to wake back up, because she was kind of sleepwalking through a couple of innings there. And she's been really good now, retiring 7 in a row. Grounder deep at third. Gibson, strong, long throw in time. 8 straight retired by Morales, and 11 of the last 12. And Rogers State, as we go to the bottom of the 6th inning, they've got, I should say the top of the 7th inning, they've got a 9-3 lead. Cloudy afternoon in Denver. We had a lengthy delay, but hopefully that's a thing of the past at this point. And we are ready now moving forward for a critical 7th inning. Rogers State, the Hillcats, haven't lost yet this week. They're 2-0. And if they can win this game, they will be on to tomorrow's best-of-3 national championship series, guaranteeing, at worst, a national runner-up finish to the 2022 season. That is a foul ball. Everybody reacted to the throw, but Michaela Bowman will come back to home plate here. Bowman, Watson, and Gibson, the scheduled hitters. This was really close.
Yeah, close, and a good job by Plowcheck to just continue on with the play. Ooh.
Boy, Henry tried so hard to hit that outside corner.
Wow.
She didn't get the corner, but apparently got the check swing. Well, now you slice it up.
How about that? That's a first this weekend, too.
Yeah, actually, I don't think we've seen that. You're right. Took 11 games.
Right?
Michaela Bowman hit by a pitch and scored in the 2nd inning. She's also singled and grounded out. Nine runs, 8 hits, no errors, 5 left for Rogers State. 3 runs, 6 hits, 1 error, 3 left for Texas Tyler. On the ground to short. Simone. Good throw across her body. Bowman is out number 1.
Pretty smooth on charging that ball as well. And really no other opportunity playing so deep for Bailey Simone at short.
You know, I realize she made a couple errors in that first game of the tournament. She's been rock solid since then defensively.
Yeah, and again, I think that goes back to what we discussed at the top of the show, just getting comfortable here.
Watson has had a tough tournament offensively, but rips a line drive off the right center field fence. Unfortunately, they were playing deep, and she hit it so hard and so fast out there that they got the ball back in. And Watson wasn't able to get more than a single out of it. Looks like Natalie Gonzalez is going to come in and run for her.
Amanda Marchek got over quickly and actually made a good grab on it as it hit the base of the fence. It didn't ricochet past her.
The batter is Jalen Gibson, but again, Natalie Gonzalez from Baldwin Park, California, running at first. RSU not taking any opportunity for granted here, trying to add to this 6-run lead if they can. Gibson walked her last time up. She was the last batter before our delay. Took that one outside. One on, one out, top of the 7th. J.C. Henry, who you mentioned earlier, Leah, doesn't have a ton of innings under her belt this year. This is a great experience for her, pitching in a moment like this. Slow roller back to her, and the play was taking her toward first. So Gibson's erased, but the runner moves up. Now there's 2 outs for Kimberly Presnell. Do you just auto give her a hit here? She's got 8 hits in 10 plate appearances.
And actually the ball that she hit into a double play last time up was very close to being rocked back into center field.
Too low. Count is 1-0. Get a look at the defensive alignment. Presnell takes a really good-looking pitch there. Cut across the plate for a called strike, evens this up. Gonzalez runs well. Way outside. Watching the Texas Tyler fans at the moment, looking around the stands, there are some pretty disappointed looks on their faces. It's not over yet, but reality might be setting in for the Patriots as Presnell slashes the bat into the ground in frustration there after grounding out to the pitcher for the 2nd consecutive time. Rogers State University, 3 outs away from a berth in the national championship best of 3. Last of the 7th, and the last opportunity for Texas Tyler with some adverse weather off in the distance. Not terribly far away from us, but not close enough to force a stoppage. We are in the bottom of the order. Amanda Marek, who hit a big home run in the 2nd inning and doubled in the 4th. Swung and missed at the first pitch. Drea Morales looks like the first-team All-American she was recognized as this year. 8 straight have been retired, dating back to Marek's double. And she sent down 11 of the last 12. Texas Tyler scored in the first, Perez an RBI single. And then both Marek and Plocek, a couple of solo home runs but nothing scratched across in the last 3 innings.
A little bit different movement with Morales, too, as far as getting back in a circle, getting that ball, and getting moving. I thought prior to the break that she was taking a little bit more time. But right now, she's getting that ball back, and within 4 seconds, she's back on the rubber, ready to go.
1 out in the 7th. Fifth strikeout for Drea.
Went high, and Marek went after it. Mandis had an exceptional tournament, but just couldn't catch up with it there.
In there, a called strike to Michelle Arias. Michelle is 0 for 1 with a fly out to right field. Down to the count here quickly, 0-2. Texas Tyler, the number 1 team in the country every week this year except for one. And more than half the season, the unanimous number 1 team. They lost the first game of the week to Cal State Dominguez Hills. It was a pretty disappointing loss for them.
Yeah.
But they turned around and they've won 2 consecutive elimination games, including 4-3 yesterday against number 3 nationally ranked Auburn Montgomery. In walk-off fashion, survived what would have been an unbelievable defeat after that 2-run homer was hit by AUM in the top of the 7th inning. Little pop-up. Can't get there. I think this has been a great experience for the Patriots. I think they've learned they are certainly capable of winning at this level. They probably learned a couple tough lessons about defensive mistakes, how costly those can be. Because frankly, I think they lost the game more than the Toros straight up beat them.
Yeah, they just didn't play their game. That first game just wasn't them. Wasn't what got them here all year.
Rogers State today led by Lana Gass and Abby Rogers. Morales has pitched quite well. Nobody else has pitched in this tournament so far for the Hillcats. Working on her 21st inning over the course of 4 days now. Two-two to Arias. Hit pretty well right at the left fielder. Bowman down on a knee, makes the catch. And there are 2 away in the 7th. Time for a pinch hitter as Hannah Fradkin stands in. One ball, no strikes. We've seen Fradkin sparingly, but she's played in a couple of games here in this tournament. Came out as a defensive replacement earlier. And she watches the pitch hit the top inside corner. Rogers State with the corner infielders pulled in. Middle infielders back. Just missed.
Morales with a long stare. I don't know if I'm Morales here. Full count now. She's back at it. She knows that she's got a slapper in the box. Try to see if she can't just run this one in with all a full head of steam.
Another check swing foul ball. She's out. She stepped out of the box.
Wow.
That's how the game ends. Unbelievable. Rogers State University. A 9-3 win over the number 1 team in the country. And they will play for a national championship starting tomorrow. What a job by Morales at the end of this game to retire the last 10, or I should say the last 11 in a row, and 14 of the last 15 she saw.
Yeah. Stunning and unfortunate way to end the season on that third out, but immediately called by Eddie Hall at home plate. Solid season for UT Tyler. As you mentioned, so many firsts as they continue to progress with their program quickly in D2. And Rogers State now finds themselves in the championship game on Monday.
Rogers State goes to 56-10. Texas Tyler's season comes to a close at 49-9. Final line score, Rogers State, 9 runs, 9 hits, no errors, 6 runners left on base. UT Tyler, 3 runs, 6 hits, 1 error. They stranded 3. Drea Morales, the winning pitcher. She threw her 3rd complete game of the weekend. This time she gave up 3 runs on 6 hits with no walks and 5 strikeouts. She goes to 37-4 with the win. Losing pitcher is Tatum Goff. Tatum went just an inning and 2/3, gave up 4 runs on 2 hits. She walked 3 and struck out 2. Time of the game was 2 hours and 7 minutes. We also had a 2-hour and 23-minute rain delay. So Rogers State awaits North Georgia and Cal State Dominguez Hills. Who will they play starting tomorrow in the best of 3 national championship series? 1 tomorrow and potentially 2 on Tuesday to crown the national champion. North Georgia coming up next against Cal State Dominguez Hills to fill that other slot. For Leah Secondo and our entire production crew, I'm Brendan Gulick. Rogers State fans will see you at noon Eastern tomorrow on Memorial Day. You get a chance to play for the national championship.